War. War never changes. What's up, guys? It's your boy Odie here with my review of Dunkirk, which is Christopher Nolan's new war movie based on the real-life Battle of Dunkirk that took place during World War II. So the setup is German forces have basically pushed back the Allied French and British troops to the beaches of Dunkirk. With only a little bit of air support from French and British forces, troops were slowly evacuated from the beach using all naval and civilian vessels that they had. In the end, 330,000 soldiers were safely evacuated. This is the story of how that happened. Right off the bat, I'm going to explain to you the structure of this film. It doesn't really play in chronological order. Think Pulp Fiction, but not to that extent. You won't be seeing like the end of the movie and then the middle and the beginning type stuff. You won't be seeing none of that. But the events are out of order more or less. At first I didn't like that because it's like I didn't really see the point. But about halfway through, I began to understand and even appreciate why Christopher Nolan decided to do this. So I'm letting you guys know this ahead of time so then you don't go in there blind like I did. Alright, let's start off with what I like. This movie is not your typical war movie in the sense that other war movies focus on the conflict and the fighting and the brutality of the fighting. This movie really focuses on retreating. These guys are just trying to get the hell out of there and survive, basically. That's the name of the game, is to get home safely to fight another day. Because it's not about fighting anymore, it's just about retreating. I think that's a refreshing take on the World War II movie. It gives the characters a huge sense of vulnerability, like no one is safe, anybody can die in a moment's notice, because again, it's not about them trying to fight the enemy, they already lost. It's just a matter of getting out of there by any means necessary. The movie follows basically three different storylines that evolve and affect one another. There is the soldier trying to escape the beaches, so like in the main conflict. There's the fighter pilot and his wingman trying to protect the boats, the naval vessels or whatever. And then there is a father and son who is one of those boats who are trying to rescue fallen pilots or just trying to do their part, basically, trying to rescue people. Each one of these stories are very intense and interesting in their own ways. I couldn't tell you any of the characters' names or any of their backstories or nothing because the movie doesn't really waste time going through all that. It gives you enough info and then it gets straight to the point. Everyone did great in their roles. I thought the main soldier dude, Tommy, played by Finn Whitehead, I thought he was really good. The old dude who was on the boat, he was great. Tom Hardy as the pilot, he was fine. Everybody did a good job. Nobody really stood out, but everybody was really, they were fine. Oh, and did I mention the movie looks and sounds incredible? This film has some amazing cinematography. Some of the shots just look crazy. The sound ain't nothing to mess with either. I saw this movie in IMAX, so every time something got bombed or during the air combat sections or even when just a gun goes off, you could feel that shit, boy, let me tell you. Funny thing that happened, though, when I was in the theater, I looked down and I saw this lady complaining to her boyfriend slash husband slash whoever, saying something like, "It's really loud in here." I'm like, bitch, if you don't get your ass up out of here. If there is a bad, I would say that the structure of the story is a little weird, which might put some people off. Like, I can understand the criticism behind that, although I didn't really mind. But the structure, it was weird. That's why I was willing to tell you guys ahead of time. Another thing is, out of the three stories, the old man and the son story has an awkward conclusion to it. Obviously, it's history, so you can't change nothing to make it, more interesting or fulfilling, but yeah, it's just that. It has a weird conclusion to it and leaves you kind of with a what was the point feeling. But it's not nothing crazy. It's just I feel like the out of the three stories, the old man and the son story might be the weakest. I don't know. It doesn't mean it's not good. Please let me reiterate that. Dunkirk is a pretty interesting war flick. Christopher Nolan has showed us that he can tell an awesome story with superheroes, dreams in the human mind, outer space, and now World War II. Despite not really being on my radar at first, I'm happy to say that Dunkirk is definitely a war movie worth experiencing, and I'm sure you'll find its interesting story structure kinda cool, like I did, if you know ahead of time at least. That's why I'm giving Dunkirk a 4 out of 5. and I would definitely see this in IMAX. Like, that's the only way to watch this movie. And if you get it on Blu-ray, then you better turn that bitch all the way up. So my question for today is, what was your favorite war movie? Don't say Saving Private Ryan, because that one's mine. I picked that one. Go ahead and comment your answer down below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more reviews like this, go ahead and subscribe as well. I'll see you folks next time.